Hey folks, for this lick I'm going to be looking at something called the half-whole diminished scale. It's one of the octatonic scales. Oh, nice fancy word, but basically it just means there's 8 notes in the scale. And there's kind of 2 of them. And there's the symmetrical scales because they follow a nice kind of symmetrical pattern again. The half-whole, as its name probably gives you a clue, it goes a half step, a whole step, half step, a whole step. There's another diminished scale that goes whole step, half step, whole step, half step. But if we look at what this actually gives us over our dominant 7th chord, so if I start with the root note, that's my starting point. I'll play A because that's our dominant chord, A7. What I'm going to be doing is doing a half step or semitone, so I get there. So that is a flat 2 interval. Then a tone from there gives me a flat 3 interval. Now a semitone from there actually gives me a major 3rd interval, which as you can hear already, gives you an interesting sound. Then a tone from there gives me a sharp 4. Semitone from there gives me a perfect 5th. A tone from there gives me a major 6th. And a semitone from there gives us our minor 7. And then we're back at the start again. And you can see we 8 notes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know. Now, if I look at these intervals, it's kind of an interesting pattern there. As I said, you've got your 1, your flat 2, flat 3, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and then the root note again. If I think in terms of kind of more chord tones and extensions, this flat 2 is actually a flat 9 interval. And the flat 3, if I actually think of it as a kind of extension, that's basically like a sharp 9 interval. So there we've got 2 kind of alterations, like a flat 9 and a sharp 9 over a 7 chord. So kind of flat 9 chords you've probably heard before. Kind of that kind of sound for a 7 flat 9 chord. A 7 sharp 9 chord is your classic kind of Hendrix kind of chord. So that's a very common one. So if you ever see a 7 flat 9, 7 sharp 9 chord, the half-whole diminished scale is a great option for playing over it. We've also got our sharp 4, which if you think in terms of extensions, that gives us like our sharp 11 again. And then we've got a major 6, which of course is in the extensions like a 13th. So 13th flat 9 chord, another kind of very common. Another kind of common sound. People will see that and think, half-whole kind of diminished. What we're doing here, of course, is we're playing over just this dominant 7th chord, the static dominant 7th chord, to bring in these kind of interesting sounds. So particularly the flat 9 and this kind of sharp 9 with a major 3rd in there. You can see as usual we've got our root, our major 3rd, our 5th and our flat 7. So we've got all our dominant 7th chord tones in there. We've got with these nice little altered flat 9s and sharp 9s in there. So it's a really cool sound, very common sound, you hear it quite a lot. So what I'm actually playing here, so I start off kind of mostly in kind of like a pentatonic minor. So what I'm going to do is I start on the offbeat, so start on the end of beat 1, and I'm going to play 5 on the low E string here. So I'm kind of thinking maybe like an 8 pentatonic minor. So I play 5 on the E string, then I'm going to do 7, 5, 7 on the D string, and I kind of play it with a slight pan mute. And then I play 5 on that G string there. The fingering wise, you could use your thumb in the E string. You know, play the thumb, and then you could do your 3rd, 1st, 3rd, and then 1st there to get this kind of notes. And that's you know, that's an 8th note, but these are all even 16ths, so that's kind of 1 E under. Then next bit, I'm going to play so I sustain that 5 in the G string. Then I'm going to do 7 on the D and then 7 on the A string, and I use my 3rd and 2nd finger there. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is play a little hammer on sequence of notes. I'm going to play 5 in the D, hammer on to 7 in the D with the 3rd finger, and then a hammer on to 8 on the D. So this is where we start going into our little outside sound of the half whole. So that all together kind of goes. Next little sequence sounds like this. And this is now ours getting into kind of the whole half. So what I'm actually going to be doing here is I'm going to hammer from 5 to 8 in the G string, pull off, hammer to 6 and then 8 like that. So it kind of goes, and it's all even 16ths again, so make sure it's nice and even. Then I play 5 in the B string. Okay, so that's that little sequence. Then I play 8 on the G string again, with the 4th finger there. Then I'm going to do hammer 5 to 8 in the B string, and then 7 on the B string. So it's kind of like a pull off, so I kind of do this. That's kind of weird, can feel quite strange to do a hammer on, and then pull off to 7, but it's to give that kind of smooth legato sound. So this altogether goes like this. Again. Okay. Now interestingly, just as a little aside, the pattern here on the top 4 strings for the half full, you'll see if you purchase the full course and look on the website, you'll see the materials. I've got the scale diagrams and everything there. But it's a nice kind of pattern. It's very easy to see. You do basically 5, 7, 8 on the D string, 5, 6, 8 on the G string, 5, 7, 8 on the B string, and then 5, 6, 8 on the high E string. So you can see they've got this alternating kind of pattern. It's just to do with the tuning of the guitar. So it's quite nice, particularly if it sits around your A pentatonic minor kind of shape there. Now the end of this bit, when I do the hammer on 5, 8 to 7, I just grab the tremolo bar and just give it a little bit of a wobble there. I could use finger vibrato, but I thought I'd add a little bit of a kind of, almost like a Scott Henderson kind of influence thing going on here. Just to add a little bit of a kind of whammy bar wobble to the note there. Next little bit, what I'm going to do is play 5, 8, 6 in the high E string. So it's just all picked. Use the 1st, 4th and 2nd. And of course, I mean, you could do a bit of down and up or whatever. It's just to add a bit of articulation to it. And you can see what I'm doing here is playing the root and bringing both those altered intervals. Got the sharp 9 and the flat 9 there. Really cool sound. Next little bit. So what I'm doing is playing 5 in the high E string, and then I'm going to do 8, 7 on the B string. Again with a little bit of whammy bar articulation there. So those 2 little sections. And that's the kind of rhythm of it. And then the next little bit is just basically going down an A7 arpeggio. So what I'm going to do is play 5 on the B, 6 on the G, 7 on the D, and then 5 in the D string there. And again, you can see that's like a 5th, 3rd, root, and then into the flat 7. And then at the very end, what I do is I'm still holding the bar here. I just kind of dip the bar and let the note kind of descend and die off. So that last little sequence, all holding the bar, kind of goes. Okay, so the whole thing slow goes like this.